Good evening, Oak Park. We are going live in 5, 4,
So during
3,
comments.
2.
know that I'll be coming back at the next council meeting and doing a quick presentation on some of the things you and I talked about earlier.
Oh, that's wonderful. We ready to go?
Okay.
Oh. Ready? This council meeting is called to order. Please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. City Clerk Ed Norris, please call the roll.
Mayor McClellan.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Burns.
Here.
Councilmember Speech. Councilmember Radner.
Here.
Councilmember Rich.
Here.
Councilmember Speech just called to say she was ill, if you will make a note of that. Next is approval of the agenda. Please omit item 7A that will go on the next agenda and 13D that will go on a special council meeting agenda. Is the motion to approve the agenda as amended?
So moved. Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Consent agenda. These are items that are presented as a group without discussion. Any council member can ask that it be dropped and discussed. A, regular council meeting minutes of September 5th, 2017. Special council meeting minutes from the same date. Planning Commission meeting minutes of July 10th. Request to authorize the Department of Public Works to enter into an intergovernmental agreement with the City of Ferndale to use their storage yard for leaf pickup. This is an annual thing that we do. E, request to advertise for bids for the 2017 I-696 at Coolidge Highway Bridge Enhancement Project M670. F, payment number 2, final for the 2017 roof replacement project M665 to Schreiber Corporation in the amount of $55,730. G, request to approve an agreement with the Road Commission for Oakland County for winter maintenance on Greenfield Road from 8-mile to 11-mile roads and on 10-mile road from Greenfield to Woodward. This is another annual project that we do. H, licenses, new and renewals is submitted for September 18th, 2017. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved. Support.
Any discussion? No discussion? Roll call, please.
Mayor Pro Tem Burns.
Yes.
Mayor McClellan.
Yes.
Councilmember Radner.
Yes.
Councilmember Rich.
Yes.
Okay, motion carried. I don't see any elected officials. Public hearing, number 8. This is a public hearing and acceptance of the 2017 Byrne Memorial Justice Grant in the amount of $10,200 for the purchase of light bars and single drawer vaults for 2 public safety vehicles. Is there anyone here? We can open the public hearing. And Director Cooper, would you speak to us about this, please?
Sure. Good evening, Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem Council, and City Manager. The Department of Public Safety is requesting to use funding from the 2017 Edward Byrne Justice Assistance Grant to purchase and install 2 Code 3 light bars and controllers. The department recently switched to the Chevy Tahoe patrol vehicle, and we are currently in need of 2 new light bars to properly outfit these vehicles. Additionally, we are in need of 2 single-drawer vaults to use to house our less lethal shotguns and ammunition bags inside the vaults as well. The vault system would allow for the safe and secure housing of this equipment. The cost for each of the Code 3 light bars, which includes installation, is $3,658.91. For the 2 light bars, the total cost plus the installation would be $7,300. $17.82. The cost for each truck vault is $1,805.32. Installation for each truck vault is $200. So the total cost for 2 truck vaults plus installation would be $4,010.64, with the grand total of all of the above equipment plus installation giving us a ticket price of $11,328.46. And before council, asking the mayor and council to authorize the acceptance of the Edward Byrne Justice Assistance Grant and utilize this funding for the above purchases. I'm also requesting that the remaining balance of $1,128.46 be taken from the Public Safety Materials and Supplies account. Funding is budgeted and available in this account.
Thank you. Is there a motion to accept this grant?
So moved.
Madam Mayor, we need to complete the public
Sorry,
hearing.
a public hearing, so sorry. Is there anyone here who is here to talk about the Byrne grant? No. Okay, we'll close the public hearing, and then we can have a motion to accept this grant.
So moved.
Support.
Any discussion?
I have a question.
Yes.
This is not about the actual hearing or what we're about to approve, but what is a less lethal shotgun? And what's the point of having it?
The less lethal shotgun offers the public safety officers an additional alternative as far as use of force. We have the tasers, we have the actual OC pepper spray. The less lethal is actually a shotgun that actually shoots a projectile. It's like a beanbag type round, and it gives you the advantage of distance. So where the taser would not be maybe effective in a situation where you were trying to use less lethal force, usually the taser you're talking about within 20 feet because it's actually connected to a cord that comes right off of the taser, where the actual shotgun, you could move back a further distance if you had somebody, maybe you're faced with a knife threat or some other type of threat where you didn't want to necessarily use lethal force. This gives you that advantage. So it's been around for a while.
Okay, I've just never heard the term before. I'm familiar with the concept, but never heard the term. Thank you.
Thank you. Any further questions? Roll call, please.
Mayor McClellan.
Yes.
Councilmember Radner.
Yes.
Councilmember Rich.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Burns.
Yes.
Okay, motion carried. Brings us to number 11. Thank you, sir. Accounting reports. Need a motion to approve payment of invoices submitted by Garen Luca Miller, PC, for legal services in the total amount of $18,382.74.
So moved.
Support.
Moved and supported. Discussion or questions?
Just got to pay your lawyer.
Councilman Radner, yes. Okay, roll call, please.
Councilmember Radner.
Yes.
Councilmember Rich.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Burns.
Yes.
Mayor McClellan.
Yes. Motion carried. 11B, approval for payment of an invoice submitted by Seacrest, Wardle, Lynch, Hampton, Truex, and Morley for legal services in the total amount of $9,058.78. Is there a motion to approve payment?
So moved.
Support.
Discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilmember Rich.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Burns.
Yes.
Mayor McClellan.
Yes.
Councilmember Radner.
Yes.
Motion carried. Item C, approval for payment of an invoice submitted by Howard L. Schiffman, PC, for legal services retainer for October 1st, 2017 through December 31st, 2017, in the total amount of $15,000. Is there a motion to approve payment?
So moved.
Support.
Support. Just for everyone, we always pay this 1 quarter ahead. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mayor Pro Tem Burns.
Yes.
Mayor McClellan.
Yes.
Councilmember Radner.
Yes.
Councilmember Rich.
Yes.
Okay, motion carried. Item 12A, this is a request to award bid for the 2017-18 miscellaneous concrete project, M672, to Mattioli Cement Company of Fenton, Michigan, for the amount of $183,409.40. Is there a motion to award the bid?
So moved.
Support.
Moved and supported. Questions or comments?
Quick.
Councilman Rich.
a question for Mr. Yee. Have we worked with Mattioli before?
We have, many times. They've done a lot of projects for us in the past.
You're happy?
We are. They're a very good contractor.
Very dependable. Any further questions?
No other questions.
Okay, roll call, please.
Mayor McClellan.
Yes.
Councilmember Radner.
Yes.
Councilmember Rich.
Yep.
Mayor Pro Tem Burns.
Yes.
Motion carried. Item 12B, request to award the bid for 2017-18 sewer and catch basin cleaning and television inspection project M673 to Taplin Group Limited of Kalamazoo, Michigan, for the amount of $232,087.85. Is there a motion to award the bid?
So moved.
And support. Question, I guess two questions were, there was a huge gap between the people who bid, someone around 200,000, one 300,000, or one 400,000. Why the huge, enormous gap?
Well, if you review the bids, you can see that the one item that the low bidder was a lot lower than the other bidders was the catch basin structure cleaning line item. That, as opposed to the second low bidder, was about $70,000 difference for that one item. And they're comfortable that they can do the work for the unit prices that they bid, including that item. And they've done work for us in the past, and we have no reason to believe that they wouldn't do a good job for us.
So we have used these people.
Yes.
Okay. Any further questions? Roll call, please.
Councilmember Radner.
Yes.
Councilmember Rich.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Burns.
Yes.
Mayor McClellan.
Yes. Motion carried.
Thank you.
Next, we are on, thank you, Director Yee. 13A is first reading of an ordinance to amend Section 1302, approval process of Article 13 PMF Planned Multifamily Districts, Appendix A, zoning of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Oak Park, Michigan. Motion to approve the first reading
So moved.
Support.
and support. Do we have someone who can explain this one?
Good evening, Mayor and City Council members. We are asking for the proposed changes on the planned multifamily zoning because of the fact that when it was originally written, it did lack a few items that you usually have in planned development. So we're just asking for some minor changes to keep with the times, to have the flexibility that any planned development should have. And the only things that we're looking for is the addition of flexibility on setbacks and the screening material for adjacent properties.
Excellent, great. Any questions? No. Roll call vote, please.
Councilmember Rich.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Burns.
Yes.
Mayor McClellan.
Yes,
Councilmember Radner.
Yes.
motion carried. Did we get you?
Yeah, not a question, but maybe we should have someone, or Kevin, maybe
Kim?
Kim. Kim, just speak and tell everyone what the planned ordinance is and what is that is the property on Schaefer, and we're just approving for the development to go to the next point, because I think a lot of
So
people may not know.
we only have one planned multi-family zoning area in the city currently for Oak Park, and that is the Coolidge properties that we recently went into contracts with for development we're going to discuss later today. And when you have a planned development, it allows for flexibility, so you can plan an entire larger site, not just a specific individual parcel.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next, 13B. This is first reading of an ordinance to amend Article 6, Property Maintenance Code of Chapter 18, Buildings and Building Regulations of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Oak Park by amending Section 18231. Is there a motion to approve the first reading?
So moved.
Support.
It's moved in support. Questions or explanation? Kevin?
Madam Mayor, if I may. This is in respect to both agenda items 13B and C. These are proposed adoptions of amending our ordinance to adopt the International Property Maintenance Code for item 13B and a adoption of the 2015 edition of the International Fire Code for item 13C. Again, both of these are essentially just state codes that our city, our municipality adopts by reference for our ordinances, and both of these are just to bring the city up in line with the most current version of both of those code documents.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Madam Mayor,
Yes, please.
I have a question for our council. I note that section 106.4, the violation and penalties section, it seems to me that code violations would become misdemeanors under this provision, correct?
That is correct. We're only amending the ordinance under our current scheme, and it sounds like you are headed towards the question about our upcoming
ahead.
civil infraction ordinance, which we are still in the process of drafting. So you will see further amendments to all of these ordinances once that regulatory scheme is in place. And just an update on that, we did have an administrative meeting last Wednesday, and we will be scheduling another meeting probably in the next 2 weeks to flesh out all of the forms and the process required for the civil infraction ordinance. So all of those items will be coming back before your body for approval.
So the current property maintenance code that we're working off of on our books is the previous edition of the International Property Code?
It is. It is the
All right,
2012
so this is going to bring us up to
edition.
date with that, but it's going to maintain that misdemeanor issue that some of us in council are not happy with.
That's correct.
All right.
And
You're
we
gonna
do
bring
have
that-
plans to
You're going
change
to bring that to us
that.
in the next 2 or 3 meetings or something?
We will. We will bring that to you when we bring you the entire civil infraction ordinance.
It'll cover this plus the others.
It
Great,
will.
Thank you.
Further questions? Roll call, please.
Mayor Pro Tem Burns.
Yes.
Mayor McClellan.
Yes,
Councilmember Radner.
Yes.
Councilmember Rich.
Yes.
motion carried. Item 13C has been explained by our council. This is approval of a first reading of an ordinance to amend sections 42 to 36, 42, 37, 42, 38 of Chapter 42, Fire Prevention and Protection of the Code of Ordinances, City of Oak Park, thereby adopting the 2015 edition of the International Fire Code as the Fire Prevention Code of the city. Is there a motion?
So moved?
Support.
Moved and supported. Questions? Roll call, please. Oh, yes, please. Councilmember Rich.
I have a question for our council. I note that the language that we used in section 106.4 with regard to the building code is a little bit different than what's in 109.4 here. 109.4 point blank says, quote, shall be guilty of a misdemeanor, end quote. The term misdemeanor is not included in 106.4 of the building code, but it does talk about terms of imprisonment not to exceed 90 days, which implies a misdemeanor. Same question that I had before. Are we going to be addressing this as well?
We are. They're both going to be included in the new civil infraction ordinance. They'll be designated as civil infraction violations as opposed to the misdemeanors.
So the proposal here is just to bring us up to the 2015 edition of the International Fire Code as opposed to the previous one.
That is correct.
Great, thank you.
Any other questions? Roll call, please.
Mayor McClellan.
Yes,
Councilmember Radner.
Yes.
Councilmember Rich.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Burns.
Yes.
motion carried. Motion D. Item D is going to be at the next meeting. City Manager Eric Tungate, please.
Thank you, Madam Mayor, members of council, and members of our public. 15A is a resolution amending the 2018 City Council regular meeting schedule. I will turn it over to the city clerk to explain this change.
Thank you. The schedule was adopted on Monday, August 7th. And since that time, we have determined that City Hall will be closed on January 2nd of 2018, where we had scheduled our first council meeting. Therefore, we're proposing that meeting be moved to January 3rd. So January 3rd would be the the first council meeting of the 2018 schedule. So that is the amended resolution that you have before you.
And also the September 3rd and September 4th dates. Okay, do we have a motion to amend the scheduled calendar?
So moved?
Support.
Any discussion or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carried.
15B, I'd like to ask the Assistant City Manager, Kevin Yee, to join me at the podium for a brief explanation.
Thank you. Public Works Department is requesting authorization to participate with the National Joint Purchasing Alliance contract bid for the purchase of an ODB leaf vac. The total purchase price for this unit is $35,692.33. There is $40,000 budgeted in the solid waste fund for this expenditure. It is recommended that City Council authorize Public Works Department to participate in the NJPA contract bid for the purchase of an ODB leaf vacuum.
Okay, is there a motion to authorize this purchase?
So moved?
Second.
Moved and seconded. Questions for Assistant City Manager Yee? What happened to the old one? And
The old one is, I believe, in 1974, so it just has picked up a lot of leaves over its time, and it's tired.
got it. Okay.
Well said.
Well said. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Radner.
Yes.
Councilmember Rich.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Burns.
Yes.
Mayor McClellan.
Yes.
Thank you.
15C, I'd like to ask Director Kim Maroney to join me at the podium for a brief explanation.
Good evening. We have a facade grant in front of you for Real Team Real Estate at 8250 9 Mile Road. They recently had a window on the front of their facade broken from, they're not really sure what. I know Public Safety investigated, but there was nothing stolen. So they're going to be replacing all the windows in the front of their building and are asking for a facade grant with the 50% grant match of up to $2,500.
Okay, is there a motion to approve this facade grant?
So moved?
Second.
Moved and seconded. Questions for the director?
No questions, just a comment. I love this program.
Yes.
It's really great.
Me too.
Yes.
That's great for
Me
the
too. We've had some
businesses.
great upgrades to some local businesses with it.
It's privately funded, too.
It is
Even better.
privately funded, not tax money. That's amazing. All right, roll call, please.
Councilmember Rich.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Burns.
Yes.
Mayor McClellan.
Yes,
Councilmember Radner.
Yes.
motion carried.
Director Maroney, 15D, please.
Yes, we have a building that is going to be expanding for Huntington Cleaners, CDRN, at 8775 Capitol. And this is actually something they had planned to do last year, and their site plan expired. So they are just coming back to renew their site plan they had in place a year ago. So they're actually going to begin the project this year. So there are 5 requirements that are listed within the approval that we're asking for tonight.
Okay, this is motion to accept approval of the final site plan.
So moved?
Second.
Questions? Did I read that right, that they're putting some Michigan plants in an area to gather water?
Yeah,
Can you
they're
explain
adding a
that?
little bit of green infrastructure to handle some of the stormwater runoff, as opposed to it all going into the sewer system.
So that's
It's always a good thing.
going to improve the looks of it also, won't it?
It adds landscaping, for sure,
Right.
but
I'm glad they decided to stay and extend
Yeah.
versus to relocate.
yes, so are we.
Yeah.
They own several buildings in Oak Park, so we're glad they're staying.
It's a good company. Any further questions?
We're so green in Oak Park.
Amen.
We're hopefully going to get there.
Roll call, please.
Mayor Pro Tem Burns.
Yes.
Mayor McClellan.
Yes,
Councilmember Radner.
Yes.
Councilmember Rich.
Yes.
motion carried.
Director Maroney, 15E, please.
So the one in front of you is an expansion project for Michigan Dessert at 10750 Capitol. This was a portion of Lessinger Park that we sold to the company so they could stay in Oak Park and expand their business. And I'm looking for their architect, Stuart, and I don't see him here yet. But this is for the approval of the final site plan for that project.
Okay. Motion to approve the final site plan.
So moved?
Support.
Moved and supported. Questions for the director? A roll call, please.
Mayor McClellan.
Yes.
Councilmember Radner.
Yes.
Councilmember Rich.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Burns.
Yes.
Wonderful. Motion carried.
Again, I'm glad they decided to stay and expand and then give back to the community all in one move.
We are as well. Yeah, they've been a great company to work with, and we're really glad they're staying.
Director Maroney, 15F, please.
Yes, so I'm not going to explain this project a whole lot. This is the 8MK project, and I'm going to invite Kurt Catallo up here, who is the owner of the old WWJ property, that will explain what the project is all about.
I had lunch at Vincetta Grill today, just saying.
I hope we didn't disappoint.
We were thrilled.
Excellent, thank you. I'd like to say on behalf of Union Joints, it's an honor to be here tonight, not just because we're sharing that final site plan for the 8MK property, which we're very proud of, but we want to say that we've been honored to work with the City of Oak Park, and Director Maroney and her staff. Is that it's an honor to work with a community that has such a clear, concise vision. We subscribe to that, and it's been evident since our initial meetings with City Manager Tungate and the entire crew. We're just very honored to do it. And so today what you have in front of you really is the kit that Von Staden Architects put together for the 8MK property. It's something that Ann Stevenson, our lead of design, and my wife worked on closely. And Matt Leone, our general contractor, has been involved in the entire process. And we think that what we have here is a great design that preserves the integrity of this building from all sides. Importantly, when you drive down 8 Mile, what you will see is a restored version of this Clarence Stay design structure. From 8 Mile, its stature, its presence won't have changed. It will just be restored, and we think that's very important in the repurposing of this historic structure. The real activation is that we've continued some of this interesting design language into the back of the building so that we can accommodate a event space, which reaches back into this 5.5, 6 acre property to really make the most of this. We think it's excellent in that the design that we've come up with through with Von Staden is that we have access from Meyer into a parking lot with, I believe, 120, 140 spaces. And then we have an additional parking lot on the 8 Mile side, which will really be purposed for our staff and for any event space if we wanted to use that also. In layman's terms, this building has great bones, and this property was really perfect for repurposing. Everything we found out about it just confirms that we've made an excellent decision to invest in this community, and that's true of the building, it's true of the process, and it's true of the excitement that we're hearing from other people as we talk about this property. So I could go
People
through the
were
images.
wondering why it was so long, and I wondered if you'd talk about the many joys of repurposing an old building.
You know, I think when you deal with the buildings that we tend to deal with, if they weren't difficult, we wouldn't be interested. If they didn't have basements full of water, they're not for us. And this had a basement full of water. As you know, power was disconnected from this, I think, a decade ago. Obviously, the sump pump didn't work. The basement was literally a swimming pool. I mean, it was just full. So restoring power, and we didn't restore temporary power. We restored transformers. We ran the main line, the connect through DTE back to this building rather than some little patch. We put in the transformers that will power this building. And then obviously, we got it in time for the winter so that we could keep this basement dry, so we could pump it up and remediate, just get everything out of that basement. And at every step of the way, it just confirms that this place was built well enough that a little water didn't bother it. But at the same token, our gestation period is much longer than building a structure on a pad site. And this building, it has its challenges, but the good news is we're used to these challenges.
We're thrilled. My biggest nightmare was that somebody would knock it down and put up a McDonald's. No offense
Yeah.
to anybody.
There are plenty of other places for that. This place was destined to be repurposed. I mean, we know what it means to Oak Park. We know
So-
what it means to everybody who drives down 8 Mile. And I think that we approach these kind of structures like we are the guardians of them. You know, we are their keepers. We're just the ones that are taking care of them. It's like, it's a lighthouse that we're there just to make sure the light stays on.
Did you decide on that name, 8MK, or is that still up in the air?
There's some debate internally. We like it because we like it anytime that a decision like that is made for us. If you look at Vincetta Garage, it's always been called that. The Fenton Fire Hall was always a Fenton Fire Hall. We like it when those decisions are made, and this was 8MK. So whether it's shorthand or the name you'll see, it's definitely 8MK to us.
Yes, we're delighted. Speak a little bit about the historian for Oakland County recommending that this property be named a historic property.
Yep, Mayor, and I think you're referring to Ron Campbell at Oakland County, and he recognizes the importance of that. We haven't gone through that process because, again, to your point earlier, it would add something to the timeline. The good news is that we agree with him fully, and all the changes that we are making are in accordance with what you would need to do for historic tax credits, which we're not applying for, but and in keeping with the National Park Service's guidelines for restoring historic structures. Little things like they want to see a differentiation between the old structure and the new addition, and we feel that what Von Staden Architects have done was kind of continued the language of the original structure into the addition, while making it clear that this is a modern element to this historic building.
Amazing.
That's cool.
We can't wait. Where are we? Do we have a motion? No. Is there?
So moved.
Got it. Move to, any questions? Roll call, please.
Councilmember Radner.
Yes.
Councilmember Rich.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Burns.
Yes.
Mayor McClellan.
Yes, we're delighted to welcome you to the city of Oak Park officially again,
Honored.
and looking forward to working with you. And we're delighted that we're easy to work with. And thanks for the plug.
Thank you. Our sleeves are rolled up. We're ready for it. Thank you.
Okay, we have 15G. Director Moroni.
Okay, so the final site plan in front of you for approval is the Coolidge Place properties that we discussed a little bit earlier. We have representatives from that Spiro Housing that is going to be doing the development. And I have a couple slides up here too that we can show you what it looks like, just to give you an idea. The site plan will be 60 units. Sorry, I'm just waiting for this to come up here. Townhomes, 1 and 2 story style. We had to change the site plan slightly with the driveway because we found an easement that we had to work with on the property. And we have Blake from Fusco Schaefer, who can probably explain the rest a little bit better if you'd like. Okay.
Good evening, and thank you for hearing us. We're intending on developing 64 units on this property. I think it's a great adaptive reuse of the vacant parcels. The unit mixes are 1, 2, and 3 bedrooms. There's some ranch style. There's some townhomes, but we really took some care in terms of designing 4 sides of the buildings. We think it'll be an attractive use. It's a great improvement to this property. And some of the things I'd like to point out, we've done a lot of public engagement to get the residents' input regarding fencing materials, the character of the designs, listened to their concerns, tried to address those as best as we could. But we've also heard them and tried to keep a great amount of green space as much as we could on the front of the property. So in conjunction with the easements that we were working with, we tried to keep that more of a park-like setting. So we can still, the residents that use that property can still somewhat use it the way they have been using it. So we're trying to be sensitive to that. I'd be happy to answer any questions. The project, we think, is pretty straightforward in terms of
Can you
design
talk a little
layout.
bit, is there lighting planned for the parking lots? Lighting for the parking lots?
We would be doing a pole-mounted light. There are restrictions regarding lighting in the ordinance. We will meet those requirements regarding not spilling any light onto the adjacent properties, keeping that all on ours. We would likely use lower poles, shorter poles to help with that.
So that the homes aren't
Correct.
negatively affected, but that the residents of the new building will have a safe parking lot?
Yes, that's correct.
Any questions? Yes, Mayor Pro Tem.
I believe I saw a drawing earlier. Are the units the color red and blue?
We still have a material study to do with that. We tend to pick colors that are cohesive with each other, stones. We tend to move away from bold colors. I don't think red was in our renderings. I think that green and blue may have been. Can you find that slide? Correct. Yeah, our design is tending to be more towards the neutral side with a slight accent color, not necessarily a bold accent.
Okay. I apologize. I thought I saw it. Drawing
It's
was
Is that
red
not
and
coming
blue.
up on the screen up there?
Any other questions?
Madam Mayor.
Please, City Manager.
Council members, I just wanted to bring to your attention, I have given each of you a letter that I received in my office from a resident on North End Avenue. I don't intend to read the letter, but I did want to bring it to your attention and make sure that you have it. And this is regarding this particular development, and it centers around congestion, traffic patterns, and so forth. And I was hoping maybe you could speak to that a little bit.
Our property, in contrast to the development to the south of us, is that we want to keep the traffic onto the side streets and off of Coolidge. We think that dumping, and we have an entrance and an exit, two-way traffic, one at the north and the south end of the property, so that the residents have an opportunity to choose where they're going to exit the property. And in trying to keep the traffic off of Coolidge, we felt was very important, that it would be easier for people to get out on the side streets going whichever direction that they choose.
Can you speak up just a little bit?
Right.
Oh, sorry. I can move this here. I'll go through that just a little bit again. We do have two-way traffic, an exit and an entrance at each end of the property. And what that allows is residents to choose which area they're going to exit. If there's congestion to the north, they can certainly travel to the south and not create a problem there. We did hear their concerns. They came to all of our public engagement meetings, and we appreciated that. I think a lot of their, if I can paraphrase, a lot of their concerns were not necessarily traffic that would be from our development, but people that were traveling actually on the roads already. So they were concerned that having additional traffic might pose a problem. We have a different opinion based on our site layout.
Would you recommend a TIA study to see if there should be a traffic light at that corner? Coolidge
There is a
and
traffic light at the
North
corner, I
End?
believe, already.
There is.
Yes.
That's great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any questions? No. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
Okay, do we have a motion? No. Is there a motion
So
to
moved. Support.
Accept the proposed Coolidge Place development?
We've heard so much about this project, we can't wait to approve it.
Great. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Rich,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Burns,
Yes.
Mayor McClellan,
Yes,
Councilmember Radner.
Yes.
motion carried.
Madam Mayor, members of council, that completes the city manager report for this evening. Thank you.
Thank you. I wonder, before call to the audience, if you would just brief us a bit about, after we had the meeting about the library issue, you did do a lot of study and a lot of meetings with the directors. Just I know we're going to cover it at the next meeting, but just briefly tell a lot of the people who are here to speak to that.
Well, sure. I want to reserve some of the detail of what we've determined, but I will be providing a memo to City Council to that effect as well. But yes, we have done, not only in the past have we done a comprehensive amount of things, in my view, but also now looking
Since
forward.
that meeting, new things have been,
And so those things we'll be talking about. My intent is to request a special meeting of council before the next meeting, and we'll go through those in detail. And if need be, we can come back at the general session and speak about those things as well. But there's a lot of things, including perhaps some additional teen recreation programming in the community center during the hours of 3 to 6 p.m. or 3 to 8 p.m. even.
excellent, wonderful.
Madam Mayor?
And we would invite all the gentlemen who are here and going to speak tonight to come to that special meeting that will be in 2 weeks at probably 5:30.
Madam Mayor, if I can
Yes.
address what Mr. Tungate said. I've only been on council for 2 years, but I took the time to research what has happened in the past 6 years, what council and what the administration has done with regard to the situation of safety at the library, and I'm incredibly impressed. There's been things on a quarterly basis. You can just go through the record, you can see, address this issue, this issue, et cetera, et cetera. Time, effort, money has been expended, and I'm impressed. I just wanted to state that publicly.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing that. We've been aware of the issue. We have invested time and money into the solution and are willing to continue looking, because obviously it's not a solved problem. So next, we have call to the audience. Please give us your name and address for the record, and limit your comments to 3 minutes. You got it?
Good afternoon.
Is the green light on?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
It's on. Mayor Pro Tem, council members, city officials. My name is Nancy Hatcher. I live at 23040 Wildwood. I was at a council meeting 2 years ago, and I still have the same issue that I'd like to discuss tonight. 3 years ago, I called City Public Works, and they came out. The tree in front of my house, the limbs were falling off. Some of them were dead, and I asked that they remove the tree, but they did not. They did cut the dead limbs off. 2 years ago, I came to a council meeting, and I asked that the tree be removed. I expressed my concerns because the tree roots are growing in my lawn. My lawn is completely covered by tree roots. It's damaging my driveway. It's completely uplifted. I have pictures if I could show them to you. Can I bring them forward?
Sure.
Okay. So I've had several conversations with Gary, but he's retired now, probably because I worried him to death about that tree. I've also had conversations with the new person who took his place, Ed. He's been to my house. We've talked about this tree. He suggested that I bring the pictures. My real concern is that the limbs, the roots are growing in my yard. It's damaging my lawnmower. It's damaging any tools that I use on the lawn. My driveway is uplifted. You can see it on the photos. It damages the bottom of my car as I pull in and out. I'm concerned that somebody might fall, trip on that sidewalk. The sidewalk in front of my house has been replaced twice in the last 25 years. It needs to be replaced again. I understand that I can't cut the tree down, but I am asking for the city to consider cutting the tree down. The problem with the trees in the city of Oak Park is not going away. Trees are growing, and they're going to continue to grow. I'm concerned that it's growing into the sewer system in my house. The roots are going toward my house. They're going away from my house. I've read the city ordinance. It doesn't address my concern. But I am asking, as a taxpayer, that you give some consideration to me for this tree. I'm not sure if someone falls, if I'm liable for the
Yeah.
timeout for me?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
Thank you for coming. Would you please see Assistant City Manager Kevin Yee behind you, the first gentleman there,
Okay,
and talk to him about it?
okay,
Oh, yeah.
okay.
Thank you for coming. Mhm. Give us your name and address. Thank you for coming.
Good evening, Mayor, City Council members. My name is Jordan Brooks, and I am a student, Jordan Brooks, and I am a student at Oak Park High School, and I live on 18691 Freeland Street in Detroit, Michigan. This evening, other students and I are here to talk about the need for after-school recreational programs. Some may ask, why do we need that? Well, in my experience, this is my second year at Oak Park High. And last year, there were a number of fights that occurred at the library. In one case, a staff member was injured. I remember trying to break one up. The reason why these fights occurred was because many students had a problem with the command system at the library, which is the library is designed for reading and work purposes only. Many students want to come there to socialize and chill. And socializing in itself is not bad, but the library has rules, and you have to abide by them. We are simply asking to implement and fund after-school recreational programs at the Recreation Center for use during each school calendar year from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. And in conclusion, this is a priority for all of us young ones. Yeah.
We're going to ask that each of you feel free to come up and speak, but please wait till the end so we can speak to you individually after the meeting.
Okay.
And you need to move to Oak Park and run for council, honey.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. Give us your name and address.
Hello,
Thank you.
my name is Carnell Havard. Hello, Council. Hello, Mayor. I live on Gardner Street, 24681 Gardner Street. I attend Oak Park High School. I am a senior now, and I do have experiences at the library. The environment is meant to indulging into studying and for information. It's not a place for recreation. We need a center for the youth so they won't feel bottled up and they won't feel in ways that they have to follow a certain line of rules. But at the same time, rules are meant not to be broken. Another thing, employees at the library shouldn't feel like they have to worry about fights or multiple disrespectful kids. But
We're with you.
okay, sorry, I'm a little nervous. I've seen quite a few people at the library, and I asked them how do they feel about this center, and they feel like they should open the rec because it would be better because children and young adults can actually find ways to spread their energy and stuff like that. They can through art, through maybe even sports. There's multiple ways and reasons where that can be done. But in the library, it cannot at all because it's, like I said, it's meant for studying and for higher learning.
Thank you so much for coming in and for sharing your well-prepared remarks. Give us your name and address.
Okay. My name is Sadiq Trice. I live on 17210 Cherryline Street in Detroit, Michigan. And I came here today. Good evening, Mayor and Council. I came here to discuss the problem at the library as well. There has been a number of altercation and fights there that has caused a problem. The staff shouldn't have to deal with that either. But it is true. There should be more recreational uses here in Oak Park. I've attended Oak Park for 4 years at the high school. I do like it here. I do like the library. It is a place for studying and, you know, reading. It shouldn't be a place for socialization that causes problems. Most people bring their personal issues here, and it causes problems. It was a number of occasions where we all had experience. I was even there when the staff member got injured, and that makes me feel kind of pretty sad hearing about that. And I shouldn't have to see that either. As a youth, for myself, I have things to do after school, but other people should too. I would say like probably the ice skating arena should probably be open or something. Maybe something like that. It'll probably help, but I know there's people that want to do other stuff, maybe like chess, simple things. Another thing I see as a problem is probably like loitering around it. People just standing outside. Like for long periods of time. I don't think that's safe or right at all. Another thing, they shouldn't have to call the police like that much often at all either. If 300 people have already signed this petition for after-school activities, you should
Speak to the mic.
see some serious.
Into the mic, yep.
Some serious.
So the people at home can hear you.
Huh?
Speak
Oh.
to the mic.
Oh, my fault. So, yeah, if 300 people have already signed petitions for after-school activities, you should see some seriousness of this. Last year, a small space was opened up as a teen center for students who wanted to play cars and things, but it was too small. Fightings happened too often in there. It reopened this year. It's too small, and nothing changed from last year. With that, we're going to have to get the same we have the same problem as before, and we're going to need help. Thank you.
Thank you for coming and speaking to the council.
Okay.
Give us your name and address first.
Joshua Garrett. I live on 19312 Birdwood Street in Detroit, Michigan. But I love Oak Park. That's really essentially why I'm here today. Me and all my friends, we came here today for the same cause. You know, this is not just only for us. It's for everybody else who comes after us. You know, with the fights, you know, it's a lot of backlash on the people who actually come to the library for, you know, the correct reasons, for the right reasons. You know, we play card games. You know, we like to play games, and you know, when we come to the library, we like, you know, to relax. You know, not to worry about, you know, who has a problem with who and who's gonna bring it to the library, because the library is like the mecca for everybody to come and socialize for some reason. That shouldn't be. Socialization is not meant for the library. It's not.
What activities would you like to see?
Oh, well, I'm glad you asked. So me and Mr. Payne, which is the librarian right here, that's good, sir. We want to see a lot of activities. We want chess, most definitely, because you know everybody likes chess. A gamer section, one that is a study hall. You know, we wanted to, you know, talk also about opening the ice skating rink, you know, maybe in the wintertime, people can come ice skate, you know, students, of course, of Oak Park and other, you know, relative schools around, you know. Just a lot of activities for the kids, you know. For it to be this many students, you know, everybody needs something to do, you know. And if we keep everybody with something to do with an activity, there will be less conflict. And everything goes in between that. You know, we worked hard on this initiative. This petition isn't, you know, something fake. I feel like the seriousness of this petition needs to be, you know, stressed to you guys. So that's really what we came here for, and we hope that you listen to our initiative and that you wholeheartedly, you know,
Believe me, we're listening.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you for coming.
Madam Mayor.
Any
Very
questions?
impressive
Any
young
questions?
gentleman. Yes.
First of all, I want to say how commendable it is for you young people to come here and have the courage to stand up here and tell us exactly what you're thinking. So I want to thank you for that.
Thank you.
I think I see that you are all signing, I think that's your names and your contact information, correct? I'm going to be contacting each one of you, and I'm going to be asking you to sit on a little commission with me that I'm going to set up. And I'm going to be contacting you very soon. My secretary will contact you, and we'll meet after school in my office here at City Hall. And I'll be talking to you about some of the things that you've mentioned here today. And I want to, again, thank you for your time, and we'll go forward. And I think you'll be very encouraged by some of the things that I'm going to be recommending to City Council very soon. Okay?
All right. Thank you.
Terrific.
Good evening, Mayor, City Council. My name is Stacy Payton. I live at 17347 Whittingham Drive in Detroit. And all of my children have come through Oak Park High School. I even have a student, I got 3 students there now. I have before in the past, I've had a business here in Oak Park. Finances being what they are, business wasn't that great. But I did reach out to the Activity Center once before to try to offer my services, because in local libraries in Detroit, I go and teach ceramics and different things like that. I would like to offer my services as well, because I do teach sewing, I do teach ceramics, jewelry. These are activities all that I do in Detroit. So I want to leave you with my business card.
Wonderful.
Maybe this might also give the kids where they can make their own chess set and things of this nature of what they're talking about.
We are delighted you came. Thank you for coming.
Good evening. My name is Rod Toney. I live in Oak Park at 25501 Briar Drive. Sometimes I work at Oak Park High School as a substitute teacher. And beyond that, I'm somewhat well-versed in mediation. Had some private conversations with several people about this issue. I think there should be, in terms of stakeholders, I'd like to see the school and the school officials very much involved in any conversation that begins to look at solutions to this larger issue. In addition to that, I know our police department of public safety is often called to the library to deal with some of the incidents. I think they should be involved as well. So when your recommendations come forward, they will have included all the stakeholders who have a major role to play in resolving this issue. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you. Can you leave us your information also?
Hello, my name is Dana Cat Young. I am a student as well as an instructor next door at the community center in the karate class that comes on. It's there on Tuesday and Thursday evenings. I'm here to back up this group of young men in their efforts to get more activities for the young adults in this community. My car was one of those that were vandalized one of the nights that we were in class. And to tell you something, I was afraid for my students as well as for ourselves. We may have some skills that we teach there and we've learned there, but unless somebody's attacking me, I cannot do nothing. So, but my students were afraid that night to even leave the building after all of that. So there's something needs to happen, because this is really out of control.
My name is Aisha Caldwell, and I am an Oak Park resident. I live over 25321 Montmartre Court in the Rue Versailles Apartments. My son is also a student in this karate class. He's a 7th grader at OPA, and he comes to the library after school on some days. And my personal concern has already, come up. Just, me coming in the building to, get him. It's, large crowd congregation in front of the door, it's
intimidating.
not intimidating for me personally, but I understand for some others, that it can be. And I do remember we have been here in Oak Park for 6 years. And I do remember when he first began class, the karate class, there were a lot more activities going on in the recreation center. And over the years, I've seen them, dwindle down for whatever the reason may be. I don't know. But I'm sorry?
State funding.
Okay. So I just do, again, want to support, for the young people. There needs to be more activities. And just even speaking for myself, there's lots of activities going on always for the seniors, and that's fine. We love our seniors. But, some of our younger folks, such as myself, would like to do some things too. We like to go to movies and, events, and I don't know if it can be expanded to include, the teenagers. I don't know if there can be some kind of a pairing or even mentoring type, activity to take place. But I just, I hate to see, I like Oak Park as a community, and I hate to see it, just turned down, just because there's boredom. That's it.
We would love, do we have your information as well? Make sure that before we leave, we have your information so we can contact you.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Hi, Regina Weiss, 23470 Majestic Street. I also just want to speak in support of all the young people and everyone who have spoken today about the need for increased programming after school. I do want to use this opportunity to give a quick plug, though. I represent the Tri-Community Coalition, and we have a after-school programming at Oak Park High School. So, and I know Jalen, who he was in here, he's a member of that club. It's called Young, Optimistic, and United, YOU. And we meet Thursdays after school in Ms. Lacano's room, C112. So if you are looking for something to do on Thursdays after school, there's an opportunity for you there. And everyone who's here today, you are welcome, and please spread the word. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Crystal Jones. I live in Oak Park. I live on Moritz. I would rather not give out my street number for various reasons, if that's okay. But I do agree with the Recreation Department for after-school program for various reasons. I bring my kids to the library for tutoring and educational purposes. I do work in education. I am a professor for a university, so I understand the need. I also work for the government with in the criminal justice program, so I understand there is a need for after-school programs for kids. I also am willing to be a part of the solution and mentor or do what I need to do to help. I've been in Oak Park since 2001, and this is my first year as actually being a part of anything with Oak Park. So whatever I need to do to assist, I'm willing to do that with the kids or adults or teenage or adolescents or anybody. I'm willing to help with the problem and solution as whatever I need to do. But it does need to be an after-school program. Looking at the statistics, the youth get in trouble between the hours of 3 and 7, so something needs to be done. And Oak Park, we're looking for any type of solution that you can do. Our kids are being brought up, and something needs to be done. Actually, something needs to be done.
And Ms. Jones, please make sure we have your contact information before you leave. Thank you. Anyone else?
Good evening. My name's Doris Applebaum. I'm at 13680 Winchester. I've been a volunteer at the library for the last few years, and I've seen some of the unfortunate situations that have occurred, even though I'm just there a few hours a week. I want to tell you how impressed I am with these young men. They've just given a terrific performance. I think that's just great. They're not like the young people that have been causing problems at the library. And I also want to just make it clear that, having been at the library for a few years, you've got a terrific staff over there. You've got terrific management, and the library is one of my very favorite places in Oak Park, and I will continue to volunteer there because you do have a great resource there, and I'm very happy to be a part of it, even though it's a very minor part.
Thank you for the part that you take, because together we're all one community, and we'll come up with solutions to anything that come up. For sure. Any other audience comments? All right. Call to the council. I would, the new combined Arts, Culture, and Diversity Commission met and elected officers, and they will provide some programming also for teens. I got a wonderful note from J. Michelle Dark. She said, I moved here 4 years ago, and I'm blown away by what Oak Park has to offer. The pool is a favorite that we've been using for several years, but at 3 years of age, my son is old enough to enjoy the other events. The Fun Fest was a huge hit for my little guy. In 17 years of being a homeowner in another Oakland County city, which shall remain nameless, I was not prepared for the breadth and depth of community offerings here in Oak Park. What a wonderful surprise it's been. Thank you so much. And so I think that one is for our rec director and library director. Thank you to both of you. Upcoming activities, there is a farmer's market September 24th. That's next weekend, Sunday. Marilee Rosemond had been running the farmer's market in Lathrop Village before we stole her away, and she is going to bring that farmer's market here Sunday, September 24th from 11 to 4. Also, the next Sunday, bring everyone, because there is a big Autumn Fest. And Public Safety is going to have the fire truck demonstrations and police vehicle exploration and evidence processing for the kids and interested adults. Public Works is going to have their front end loader and case backhoe and plow truck and Vector truck. What's a Vector truck? Huh? Yes. And a Steiner truck. What can we look forward to with a Vector and a Steiner?
Well, the Vector truck's going to be it's a big round drum that we suck out catch basins and sewers with. So that's going to be there. The Steiner truck is, I believe, our probably our aerial truck that we do tree trimming and things like that with.
Terrific. Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you very much. Recreation is going to have entertainment, a pumpkin patch, a petting farm, and face painting. Do not miss this. That's Sunday, September 24th, this coming Sunday. Oak Park Library is having upcycling junk art, ringamajig demonstration. Is someone from the library able to come up and tell us what is a ringamajig demonstration?
Thank you, Madam Mayor and Council. The rigamajigs are a STEM activity where you actually can use large pulley systems, stuff like that. So it's on a much bigger scale, so you can actually make numerous kind of things. The one demonstration they have is where you can actually, using the parts that we have, you can actually make a kind of an exoskeleton where you can actually move that with the rope and the pulleys, and that comes together. So it's teaching basic engineering, but in a fun way. So it's a really neat little program that we were able to get, and that was funded by the Friends of the Oak Park Library.
Thank you so much. Thank you. There's also Storytime tablets and do-it-yourself art bots. Do not miss next Sunday. Bring your friends, your neighbors, your family for more free fun in Oak Park. And if you're in Detroit, come on back on Sunday for some fun. Bring your brothers and sisters and enjoy with us. Pet immunization clinic is October 7th from 10 to 2. Halloween Boo Bash that brought thousands of people last year. We're bringing that one back. Take a slightly haunted hayride through the nature trail, collect candy down Trick or Treat Street, see Gordon Russ, the Spooky Monster Magic Show. So lots of things coming up in Oak Park. Everyone come. Mayor Pro Tem.
Okay, well, I guess there's no need to give a report out on the Recreation Committee. But I think that everyone has received their new recycle bin. Yes. Those are really, really great, so make sure that you read the purposes of them. They are now a mixed recycling. Before, you could just have plastic or glass, but now you can have plastic, glass, and paper all in one container. And you are still welcome to use your smaller container if you choose to. So on the Arts and Cultural Division, no, I'm sorry, not the Arts and Cultural Division. It used to be the Ethnic Advisory Committee and the Arts and Cultural Division. Now they are the newly formed Arts and Cultural Diversity Commission. Now that's a mouthful. And we have a lot of...
ACDC, they go by.
ACDC, not the group, not the rock metal group, but this group instead. And there's a lot of things coming within the next couple of months. I also wanted to inform everyone about the Create Origami Fish event. That's going to be on Thursday, the 21st, from 4:30 to 5:15 in the Oak Park Library. You'll be making fish and fishscapes, like landscapes, but with fish. And this will be a great after-school program, so maybe this is something that your friends could attend, and maybe you can spread the word. And just wanted to tell everyone that school is back in. Please be cognizant of our children in the morning when you leave. And thank you for coming out, and have a pleasant evening.
Excellent. Councilmember Radner.
I don't usually say much now. I usually end it with, have a good night. But I do want to respond to some of the things that were said tonight. First, I want to commend the young gentleman who came out and spoke here tonight. I know it's not easy to do public speaking, and I'm a lawyer. I do a lot of public speaking, and it's still not easy to do public speaking, particularly for people as young as you all appear to be. So thank you, and it's certainly commendable that you're coming out here to speak on behalf of not only yourselves, but also your fellow schoolmates. Now, something that I wanted to throw out there is Eric Tungate over here is going to be reaching out to you to join his little committee, his board of sorts. And I encourage you all to listen to what he has to say and be willing to participate in any way, because this is kind of exactly what we needed. We needed some of the students who actually care about this, who actually want there to be a safe, nice environment for students to go to after school. And at the same time, we also have to look out for the taxpayers in this city. If we're talking 3 to 6 every single day, that's potentially millions of dollars a year. We don't have an unlimited budget. So everything that we do, we need to take into consideration, what are the constituents going to think? We've been hearing from a lot of them. We've been hearing from a lot of people who pay taxes here about these issues at the library, what can be done, what's it going to cost us, and realistically, how can we balance the two? Now, Mr. Tungate over here is amazing at coming up with solutions, and it seems that he has come up with something. But one of the things I want to encourage you all to do is participate in any way that he suggests. Because there might be some things, and I'm just going to throw one thing out there. What if one of the things he wants you to do is identify people who are misbehaving? It's something that our law enforcement has had trouble with. We have some of the best law enforcement in the state of Michigan. I know that from personal experience, my professional experience as a lawyer. But when they run into a room full of 100 people and nobody knows or sees or heard anything, it makes life very difficult. Now, Mr. Tungate is obviously going to have much more ideas for you, and I'm sure he's going to want to hear your ideas as well. And it's something that I encourage you all to participate in, and perhaps encourage your friends to participate in, because there's really no reason for what's been happening to continue happening. But again, very commendable for coming out and speaking publicly on behalf of yourselves and your fellow schoolmates. And with that, have a good night.
Thank you. Last but not least.
I want to thank everybody for coming out, especially our students. And I want to say to Mr. Tungate that with regard to your ad hoc committee, please consider being a member of it and invite me to come and attend the meetings. Thank you.
Thank you. There being no further business to come before this council, this meeting is adjourned. Thank you all for coming. That's good. This is like the joy of all time. It's like the community coming together with solutions.
Oh, well, we'll address that. Well, we don't, just want to remind you, we're not taking sides. I mean, our goal is to make sure that we don't have incidents like we did. Well, he said that that's not necessarily my approach. But I want to get more of their ideas more than anything else. And so when I convene them, and please, if you have ideas, I'm going to give you my card. If you have ideas as well, please don't hesitate to share those with me.
For the city of Farmington Hills, if we have an officer, maybe you can talk to some of them.
Yes.
We have.
See how.
That was one of, Farmington Hills was one of the cities that we looked at when looking at some of these recommendations. But if you have ideas, please, my email's on there, my phone number's on there, call my office, email me, and please share those. We're loyal to good ideas here. So whatever we can do to put some of those forward and resolve the issues, we're all for that.
So you left your contact information? Yes. Okay.
Did she collect the sheet or?
Someone's got, hi. Good to see you. So glad you're here. Really delighted. It's like we're all in this together. We want a safe library and fun things for kids.